one time dimension, then you propose that. That's all. But they're allowed to do that.
But how does math, like you're doing a math equation, what math equation says, oh, that's another dimension? Like, do you know what I mean?
Is that what you did to try to get more credit on your thing?
Yeah.
I got it correct in another dimension.
But how do they
can't access it yet.
How do they come to the 11? That's such a random number.
Yeah.
As opposed, I could see if they said 10 or 100, but 11 is
just because you have 10 fingers doesn't mean the rest of the universe has to match.
That is true.
But it's nice and round.
Digits.
I like equidistant things. I like
if we
similarity.
counted in base 11, 11 would be a round number. Right?
Yeah, you're right.
So, yeah.
So what is it that they come to that kind of like what's the difference between one dimension and 11? I know 10, but 11.
Well, I can get you part of the way there, but you got to bring Brian Greene on the show if you
Okay.
want to get totally dimensioned out. But if you think about this, let's just start with one dimension. That's just something that has length. So a line has length, and let's start with zero dimensions. So zero dimension is just a point. So
There's definitely at least one.
At least one what?
Dimension.
A point can have zero. A point has zero dimensions.
Whoa.
It has no length, height, width. It's just a point.
We should change the name of this radio show to The Point. we have no depth or dimension.
Okay. So
it's a point.
Now watch. So here's something interesting. So just stay with me with this. Right?
Okay.
So we go to a line that's one dimension. A line is bounded by two zero-dimensional points.
Okay.
You got me?
Yes.
It begins at a point, ends at a point.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So one dimension is bound by two.
I'm envisioning a string with two thumbtacks.
Good.
And it's holding it up on a chalk
I love it.
cork board, right?
I love it.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not envisioning that at all.
What are you envisioning?
Two ankles with a sausage. We all just do what we do.
Okay, yeah, some people, yeah, you should get help for that. Okay, so now let's go to two dimensions.
Right.
Let's get a square, okay?
Sure.
That is a height and a width.
Right.
Notice that a square is bounded by four one-dimensional boundaries.
Okay.
Right.
Okay? Which are four lines, all right? Mm-hmm. So we had a one-dimensional line bound by two zero-dimensional points. Now we have a two-dimensional square.
Length and width.
Bounded by four one-dimensional lines.
Or 8 zero-dimensional points.
Well, and they're also in there. Okay, so now what? Let's keep going. So now let's go to three-dimensional. Now we have a cube.
Right.
So a cube is bounded by 6 two-dimensional sides.
Right.
Are we together?
I'm with you.
Yeah, well, I know.
Okay, so now
where's the other two?
He's still thinking about sausages,
No,
but my
where's the other
string on a
two?
cork
No.
board.
By six two-dimensional sides. By 6 squares.
4,
by 6
5,
squares.
6
Yeah.
squares.
To contain a cube, you use two-dimensional surfaces to do so. And there's 6 of them. Have you played dice before? Have you take them to Vegas?
Oh, yeah.
Dice have 6 sides. And they even count them for you.
Okay, no, I got it. I didn't know you...
So now if we go to 4 dimensions,
Right.
a 4-dimensional cube, a hypercube, is bounded by 8 3-dimensional cubes on each side.
What's a hypercube? How does it
Well, that's the point. So we don't live and experience 4 dimensions in that way, 4 spatial dimensions. So it's very hard to visualize, but it makes perfect and complete mathematical sense. And your boy just put up hypercubes on the screen there.
It's like a cube inside a cube, but that's looking at it two-dimensional.
Yeah, so that image that's up on the screen now, there's a cube on the inside, there's a cube on the outside,
Yeah.
and the connecting surfaces that connect the bigger cube on the outside to the bigger cube on the inside are distorted to us. Well, in 4 dimensions, they'd be perfect cubes, and so those are the 6 cubes. Sorry, 8. Those are the 8 cubes that surround the volume of the hypercube. So my point is, you continue this exercise, and in each dimension, the properties of space and time can be deduced based on what you know happens in lower dimensions. And it has other properties, fascinating features, and so when you probe the universe, it's not written in a tablet that says everything must be embedded in the dimensions that we happen to experience. So if you need more to get the task done, then you put in more and see if it helps.
What do you think of the new, there's a new spacecraft that they said can go 1/5 the speed of light, which is going to get to the next century?
Spacecraft is a little generous. It's a little chip the size of a postage stamp. And then it gets accelerated by gigawatt lasers. I want them to precisely tune the lasers to be
Gigawatt?
to be 1.21 gigawatts, just to be precise with Back to the Future. But
I like that.
Is that not really a thing, gigawatts?
no, giga is billion watts. So yeah. They get around billion mega. Gigawatts or billion watts.
So how are they
Like a
launch?
gigabyte.
How do you get that up to speed?
Yeah, giga,
Oh, right.
Gig is not an unfamiliar prefix.
Okay.
And so just remind yourself of that. And once we sort of exhaust those, there are plenty of prefixes left to tap. So you've heard of terabytes. You now buy the terabyte drive.
Sure.
And then there, you go all the way up to exabyte. I mean, there's plenty of bytes. Plenty of metric prefixes available. We're very well equipped.
So this thing, they launch.
So what they do is you launch these. You're not going to put that. So the idea is called Project Starshot. It was announced last year. So what you do is you have all of these little chips. Each chip has a camera. It can tell you where it is. It can collect data, and so because it's all miniaturized onto this chip inside, a postage stamp. Each one of these gets launched in a rocket out into space. Okay, but that's not enough speed for them to go anywhere. What they do is they embed the chip in a 2-meter wide sail, light sail. It's very light material, and it's just sitting there. It's a sail. And then you take your lasers from Earth, find this thing in space, beam it at your chip, at your sail, and then you do it for 10 minutes. You can accelerate it to 20% the speed of light. And then you do one after. So you put a bunch of them in space, and you hit them one after another. And now you can send them wherever you want, but why not send it to the closest planet, the recently discovered Proxima B.
What's Proxima B?
Proxima B. That's a planet in orbit around the closest star to the sun. And that planet is an Earth-like planet in orbit around that star.
That's not in our universe.
It's a nearest star to the sun. So yeah,
Isn't it?
Not in our solar system.
not in our solar system.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What's it?
Universe big, solar system
Is
smaller.
that like 4.2 light years or something?
Yeah, very good. We have still showing off here. Oh, it's 4.2.
I wasn't sure if 4.2 was the one I.
Okay, it is the one you're thinking of. What you're thinking of is the Alpha Centauri system, which is not a lone star. It's got several stars, one of those groupings is the one that happens to be closest to the sun. We call that Proxima for obvious reasons. And if the nearest star to the sun has an Earth-like planet, it goes very well to search for life.
So they're gonna. I didn't realize they were sending out more than one.
Yeah,
I thought it was just
they were
one.
thinking of thousands just because they might, these are really sensitive to interstellar dust and particles, and you don't expect all of them to get through. They might have overestimated the danger, and they might send up fewer. But there's a matter of the gigawatt laser punching through the atmosphere. You don't want any planes flying over.
Right.
When that happens. And by the way, 20% the speed of light. These are 4 light years away. So 20% the speed of light. You get there in how much time?
20 years.
20 years.
There it is.
The man does his math.
He's good.
20 is 1/5 of one.
It would have taken me 2 weeks.
So if you get will they be able to take photos and
Yes.
video on that's
Yeah, and then they send it back, and at the speed of light, they would beam it back. So
you
the
get 4
speed of
years.
light would take 4 years. Yeah.
What a weird communication that would be to take 4 years to communicate with.
Yeah,
this.
in fact, any communication with alien in another galaxy, in another civilization, in another star system, you cannot expect to have sort of witty repartee.
Right.
It's like, how you doing? Then you wait for the signal to get there, and I'm fine.
Did you see?
How do you feel?
Yeah.
Each packet, each episode of communication needs to be. You want to get enough info in there so you can justify the wait for the answers that return.
Speaking of communication, did you see Arrival?
You are the 1,000,000,000th person to ask me
I
if I've
told
seen
them
it.
not to ask.
Well, no, that's right. So no. So I was so asked that question. I said I gotta do it.
Right.
So I went and saw Arrival.
And what
10 days ago, and I was going to tweet about it. So you want to be the first to hear my comments?
I would love
See?
to.
You want to be the first?
I want to hear
So
about
it's a
Arrival.
fascinating film
Yeah.
that if you haven't seen it. It's an alien visit, and they have several spaceships that park, basically, in different locations around the Earth. And it's not obvious why they came, or are they hostile, and of course, one lands in America, and America we shoot and then ask questions if you survive the bullet. So we're very suspicious of them. And I think the most suspicious countries are the ones who we know they're the ones who we know other countries should be suspicious of us if we showed up on their doorstep.
Right.
I think it's a little bit, there's a mirror held up to us in that regard. But anyhow, so the military's out in full force, wondering if they have hostile intent or not. And they send a linguist and a theoretical physicist to investigate this new life form. And I'm not giving much away here to say that...
By the way, if you have theories on this thing, you can give away the whole movie.
A feature of the film and the aliens' way of doing business is that time is circular to the alien. It's not linear. To us, time is linear. An event happens before another event, we come back to it, moving into the future. We are forever prisoners, lost in the present, transitioning between the past and our future. So in Arrival, however, the aliens there, not only is their time circular, but so is their means of communication and their means of expression. So it's interesting to see what we have to do to wrap ourselves into circular thinking in order to even have a conversation with them.
So and now this is because
it's an interesting exploration.
It is.
Yeah, yeah. It's.
Is there actual science to it though?
There's some time travel in it, only because if your time is circular, you come back to where you started and you have to address it.
Yeah.
So, and I think any sci-fi movie that thinks hard about putting time in it is good.
Is the science real? Is what I'm asking.
You know, the alien's real?
I know, he's just very childlike.
So, just to be clear, when I tweeted about films in the past, I think I'm